Alright guys, we're back with another update to the FullBoar project that was ongoing. Yeah, okay, so we've been working on the inventory system, AI, a few bits with the AI which I'll get around to showing, but mainly sort of the inventory system and a bit more depth to the combat system. So I'll just do a quick demonstration of where we're up to and what we've been working on. And these are some of the assets for the master pose component. We've changed the main character from a one-piece mesh into a modular mesh, so that we can change out pieces of clothing on the main character, which I'll demonstrate after. Show the AI, because I think these are just going to come at me. So if we play the game, I'll give you a quick demonstration of the AI that we've been working on. So as you can see, it's a different main character, and we've got these chaps. We've got three AI bots that are guards with their own behavior trees. Currently they are in attack mode, so what they'll do is they'll seek the player and they will interact with the fighting director to give each NPC a value. So you can see above the heads in the debug, we've got a value to basically give an order to the fight. So if you refocus, basically the guy in front of you is probably going to have a higher value, or it'll place a higher value on the guy that you're focusing on, so he's more likely to attack you. So if I just sort of move around here, start focusing on this guy, he's going to have his attack. Perhaps, no, he's still attacking. One of the other guys might come across. Yep, he's just flipped in. Right, this guy's adamant he's going to try and kill me. So yeah, so we've got the health bars working. We've got the grouping system, so that they will all just rush at the player and attack at the same time. If we stand over here, they should follow, and then go into a group mode, which then one will come forward, do his attacks. So let's just pick a sword. We've not implemented their damage at the moment, nor have we done quite finished the blocking routines. But as you can see, we've got hit markers and the health of the enemies, so we can kill this guy. There we go, that one's dead. Let's finish these two off. Obviously, the move set that they currently have is pretty limited. They're limited to one move at the moment, which is just a basic attack. So we'll just finish these guys off, and then I can go over. The debug on the left is just sort of their health going down in the health value. You can see the debug from the sword, where it goes through the player for the hit detection. So if I just put my sword away for a minute, I can go over, press O, and this is our character equipment view. So we can still sort of interact and attack in the world. We can't actually move, we're locked to movement, but we've got a viewport here with exactly what the character's doing and wearing, including the live light scenario that he's in. So if I was to move him over here towards the fire and then bring up that again, obviously you can see that the real-time lighting has changed on the character. And what we've got here is a number of equipment slots. So we can currently hover over here, have a look at a number of things that we've got in our inventory. So we've got a few different types of hood. So we can live swap these out with different armor values. And as you can see, it changes in the viewport and changes on the model. So we've got that modular system working, so we could maybe go down to the shoulders, do some shoulder armor. All this adds to the total armor value and his agility. So obviously the heavier the armor, the less agile he's going to be, but maybe the more armor he's going to have. So we can maybe change It's one of these that's slightly better. Change out to this armor. It takes our armor rating up to 90. Swap out for a different pair of shoes. I actually quite like the ones with the caps. We can put a cape on the guy, and as you can see, it's we exit out. Physics on the cape and on his clothing as he moves around. He's accurate to his movement and the forces that work there. As you can see, if we open up again, it saved our setup. And if we go to yeah, so we've not quite got weapons up in there yet, but that's the next job to do, is to get different types of weapons operating with the inventory and the items system. But we can also have a look. If you see, I've changed his appearance, and then if we were to exit out of the game itself, it is persistent. So whatever the character changes in game will be saved to a save data, and when you log back in again, the character will have the changes applied to him. But along a similar vein, we've got a item system, so I can pick up this carrot and put the carrot in a box over here. And I currently have 6 carrots in my inventory because it's a persistent inventory, and I can drag and drop. Oh, I've got carrots, so the horse is interested. I can drag and drop those carrots into the container inventory. So I've got a drag and drop system for moving objects around within the game. Let's just move this horse out of the way. The other AI, two of the other AIs, which you have one of them wandering around here. We've got a boar with its own behaviour trees and animations. Okay, it's just gone to sleep. Also, there should be a deer somewhere. Going on there somewhere. This was just a test with reverb zones. You can hear footsteps changing within this zone to indicate that it's a smaller space. Technically, it's not, but that's what we're using: reverb zones and acoustic changing properties, particularly of footsteps when moving through areas. If we just interact with it, should it gets jump over the pigs. Yeah, so the deer also has an AI behaviour tree, and I think it's going to get stuck there. So let's just try and move it again. The AI with the deer will flee from the player. It has eating, sleeping mechanics dependent on the surface that it's on. So if it's on a grass surface and it's hungry, it can eat. There, it's taking a rest. So basically, it can go to sleep. Let's see if the animation breaks when we start it. Yep, yes it did. So that's something that needs fixing. There's no get up animation to it, so we need to sort that to get it back up again. But yeah, these are the main systems that we've been working on. So the AI, the inventory, the save games, and I'll show a bit of progress with the map. So I'll exit out of the game. Just to show the persistence, if we restart again, as you can see, he's still wearing the cape and the equipment that we assigned to him. And there should be a persistent number of carrots in the box, 6 carrots where we left them. So we can take them again. Okay, so let's have a look at the level that we're currently working on. So this is one of the main travel maps that is the outside environment, where the players will be able to travel between dungeons and other destinations around the map, as well as have some content within this space and quests to do, because it's quite a large space externally. So just sort of have a little bit of a pan around the environment. Let's head down here and let's hit play. Just to give you an idea of the sort of fidelity and the look of the game that we're going for. You can sort of see the outside environment, lush with vegetation. The lighting as well from the outside the environment. This is the sort of contrast and the sort of feel that we are looking for. Obviously needs a little bit of tweaking. But yeah, this is the sort of look and feel that we're going for the outside environment. Here's a placeholder for a village that I'm currently creating, which is going to be sort of one of the Viking themed areas. There's no internals on these buildings as yet. We're just sort of doing the layout and sort of figuring out where everything's going to be going within this environment. So eventually, obviously, all these houses will be nice and easily enterable, with internals, lighting, objects, NPCs, and all the rest. So that's just a quick look at what the environment is going to be looking like. And eventually this will be a multiplayer sandbox area. So there'll be other players within the multiplayer within this area. So people doing their quests, people carrying out their things and getting to and from the places on the map, all within this area. So emergent gameplay. And hopefully some roleplay within the game may occur. Just exit out of this mode just so we can get a little bit of speed. Move us down the map a little bit. So as you can see, it's a huge area to play in. All with that level of fidelity. This is one of the main areas where you'll be able to get quests, interact with NPCs and other players in one of the villages that are dotted around this area. So you've got some of the lesser developed houses or the more broken down houses on the outskirts of town, and obviously as you move into towards the centre of town, the quality of the buildings gets a little bit better. As you go past that, up to the castle in the background, that'll be another location that the players can explore and find quests, items, people, NPCs, all the rest, which that will load another map. So there's large transient maps like this one, where you get from A to B, so you may be heading up to the castle up there, or one of the mines and the dungeons in the hills around this area, or one of the other castles, ruins, or locations around this area. The quest system is in development, but early stages. We do have some simple logic for the NPCs that are going to be sort of living or pseudo living within the world, having sort of tasks and things to keep their patterns a little bit more realistic. That's the sort of the basic look and feel of the level of the world, and obviously items within the game. Now that we've got modular characters as well, we can keep adding more items to sort of change in and out. That, or maybe a bit of plate mail. Maybe change the code to that one. These are all just sort of test a few of the items, so it's not showing all the items that are going to be available. We've just put in a few to sort of test the dynamics at the moment, but you get the idea that you will be able to swap in equipment in and out of the player slots. So even taking the helmet off, at the moment we're still using the mannequin head. We are intending to be doing or using hybrid metahumans for the faces. So bringing metahuman quality characters into the game as the player characters. So that's a process that we're currently working on. Obviously, but metahumans take a little while to develop. Like each one can take a few hours. And if we're wanting to do a fair few different faces around the world, that's gonna be an ongoing process. Is steadily feeding in new faces into the game world. But yeah, that's kind of where we're at the moment. We are making a lot of progress, but still, obviously, a little ways to go before it's entirely finished. But it's definitely some headway this past couple of months.